All right. Hello. If
Hello.
you're watching this, you are enjoying the Isagenix products. Maybe you just got your box or it's on the way, and we wanted to record a quick video. This is my co-host, David.
How's it going?
We wanted to just record a quick message to let everyone know how to get your products paid for, either whether that's you want to get a couple of rebates back, help to cover the cost, or you want them totally paid for within your first 30 days. We just want to give you some quick steps and a system for how to do that. So it's important to know that, Isagenix, because of the generous referral compensation plan, we can show people easily how to earn anywhere up to $370 back just by helping two of your friends get healthy with you. And that's really what this is about. It's about having you not only experience better results, because we know that when you cleanse with friends, you have that accountability, you have that support system that's so necessary when making a lifestyle change. And the added benefit to that, of course, is it can also turn into rebates back to you. So Isagenix has this super awesome and really simple system. They call it you plus two, them plus two. It's a little cheesy, but it's an easy way to remember it.
It's good for the simple-minded people like us.
Just for people like David.
Yep.
What it basically means, though, is you're having two people that you really love and care about join you in your health and wellness journey. For doing that, just for sharing with two, like I said, you can earn anywhere up to $370 American dollars back. It's a huge deal. It can pay for half your products right there. And then if you go on and show your friends how to earn their $370 by doing them plus two, you can end up getting all of your products paid for within that first 30-day period. So awesome that they allow us to do that. So in order to get started on this, there's a couple simple steps that we recommend people do. First thing is, you want to jot down a list. You want to make a list of the people who you would love to have join you on this journey. So David, what was the first step you took when you started to create that list of who you wanted to share this with?
Yeah, the big thing for me was realizing that when I'm creating a list, I'm not creating a list just to create a list. It was, I wanted this. I tried to figure out who do I want this for, because I was feeling so awesome. So you got to realize, number one, that it's not about you. It's about who you can help. And so what I did was I went through all my Facebook friends, and I wrote down everybody's name. I went through I post quotes and different things. I wrote down anybody who liked or commented on it. I went through my phone, and I wrote down everybody's name on there. And I just started with this big, broad list, knowing that not everybody's going to be open to it, but it just started to visualize how many people I could actually help.
Yeah, that's such a great point. I think the key there is don't prejudge anyone. A lot of times I find myself going, that person would never be interested. But you just never know. You never know what things people are struggling with or who really wants some extra energy. So I always say, jot down anyone who comes to mind. And it doesn't mean that you'll necessarily share it with that person, but creating that big list does create just an abundance mentality of how many people we could impact if we so choose by sharing this gift with them. In order to get started, I always recommend there's a great document that Isagenix makes available. It's called a memory jogger. It's kind of a way to help us start thinking about how many people could really benefit from this. And where you'll find that, there's a website called isagenixbusiness.com. It's all one word. And it's under the tools section. It either says contact list or memory jogger. But it's so great because it gives you prompts like, who do you know who already uses protein shakes? Who do you know who is looking for more energy, or who's a mom or who's a dad? So for me, that was really helpful just to start, getting my wheels turning and thinking about the people who could really benefit from this. The other thing I tell people is, if you're just starting off and you're watching this, you're brand new, think about the two or three or four people who you do everything with. Why would you want to leave them out of this? Invite them along on the journey with you. And we're going to give you some tips in a second about how exactly to reach out, what to say in order to put it out there to them in a way that's not salesy, not awkward. We just want you to invite people along on this journey with you. The other thing that can be really helpful and that a lot of us do is leverage social media. So putting an interest-generating post on Facebook about what you're up to, not mentioning Isagenix, not throwing up, Isagenix all over your wall, something that just piques curiosity and has people go, well, what are you doing? I'm so curious, give me more information. That's the goal. So if you want to put something like that together, again, we recommend working with your mentor, whoever helped you get started, and they can help you come up with something that is going to be effective and, like I said, just authentic to you.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little bit about, once you have that list or a couple people in mind of who you might want to share this with or invite along on the journey with you, what's the best way? Let's start with that initial list that you make. What's the best way to reach out to those people? What would you say, David?
I think honestly, it depends on who the person is. I think the best way is the way that you feel comfortable doing it, right? So for some people, that might be through a Facebook message. It could be a text. It could be somebody you already plan on having coffee with tomorrow, and that might be a good way to do it. So I think honestly, the best way to do it is the way that you're actually going to do it. So there is no necessarily best way, but I think it all depends on. I think that's what's awesome about it is that there's so many ways to do it that anybody can do it. So that would be it. For me, it all depends. I know lately I've been doing a lot with Facebook messages for people who are don't live near where I live, but a lot of it's that, and just face-to-face talking with people for me personally.
Yeah, I love what you said. The most effective way is whatever is authentic to you. If you love to talk with people face to face, maybe you're interacting with them that way. This day and age, people respond to text messages pretty well. So that's a great way, just to shoot a text and say, hey, there's something I'd love to share with you. When do you have 5 minutes to talk?
Yep.
Nothing can compare, this is one thing I'll say, to the passion and enthusiasm that someone would hear through your voice.
Yep.
So don't be afraid to hop on a phone call or meet with someone face to face, just to say, hey, here's what I'm up to. Would you be open to learning more? And the key is, and this is something so important, again, I talk to so many people who say, well, I don't want to sell. Well, trust me, we don't want you to sell anything. If you're coming across that you're trying to sell something, we all know how it feels to be on the receiving end. That's usually not effective at all. We want to invite people to take a look. We're not actually asking them to make a decision, yes or no. We're just asking them to take a look at some information and see if it might be a fit for them. So the key there is to keep it very permission-based. So if I were sending a message to someone that I wanted to share this with, and I really think it could benefit them, I wouldn't send a message saying, hey, you have to check out this great program. I know it would work for you. I'm doing it. It's got great nutrition, blah, 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 right? That just kind of feels like verbal vomit. We don't want to do that. No one wants to be thrown up on, right? But if I sent a message that said, hey, I was thinking of you, Elliot and I, my husband and I, when we started, we did this together. Elliot and I are starting this new fitness program, health and wellness program. And we're looking for a couple of people who might want to jump in with us and be part of our accountability group. Would you be open to taking a look at some info if I sent it over, right? So I'm not even saying what it is yet or throwing up all this information. I'm just saying, hey, I thought of you. You are someone who's in my inner circle and I would love to share this experience with. If I sent you some information, would you take a look? Right? That's very much, they could say yes, they could say no, they could say it's not for me, and any of those responses would be totally okay, but you can tell the difference between that and then just saying, hey, look at this, right? It's very permission based.
Yep. And one other example would be that a lot of people can use is it could even be more simple to the fact that I had a friend that I said, hey, you mentioned the other day, or you were just talking about how you wanted to lose some weight. I'm part of this amazing Facebook group about health and wellness, just this amazing vibe. Would it be cool if I plugged you in? And it's as simple as that, and trying to bring them into our product page, because that's where the power is. The power is in all of us and our vibe and our energy and what we bring to everybody. So we just want to get them plugged into that group. So it could be as simple as, hey, you had mentioned how you want to lose weight. You had mentioned how you're not comfortable with where you're at right now. I'm part of this amazing Facebook group. Is it cool if I plug you in? And like Lindsay said, you're asking them permission. You're not just plugging them in and they're like, what the heck is this? How did I get in here? You're asking them permission to do it. And it's as simple as that.
Yeah, I'm so glad you touched on that. So the other thing we wanted to let everyone know is how to effectively use that Facebook community that you're probably already plugged into. If you're not, we'll make sure you get plugged in, called Stronger Together. So what this is our community of people who are all committed to health, well-being, fitness, they have goals. They may or may not be on Isagenix. In fact, there's a big portion of people in that group who aren't, but it's an easy way and a very, how do I want to say this? Not overwhelming way to learn a little bit more about Isagenix at their own pace.
Yeah, it's not very intimidating. That
was the word I was looking for.
Welcoming community.
Yeah, so a great way to use that is, if someone notices you're drinking your shake or they see your results after a couple of weeks and they're like, hey, what is it that you're doing? And you aren't quite sure how to explain exactly what it is. You can say, I'm doing a new program. I don't want to overwhelm you and confuse you by trying to explain it, but are you on Facebook? I'd love to add you to our group. You can check it out for yourself. And then there's a specific, set of steps that we follow. Typically, if someone is interested, to follow up with them and help them get the information they need. But you are welcome to plug anyone into that group who's curious about learning more about what you're up to. And what you'll find is that's a really easy way to have them check out the information and sort of, I like to use the word marinate, right? They can marinate in that group until they're ready. Because with many of us, there's usually a time between when we're first introduced to Isagenix and when we actually take that step forward and say yes for ourselves. Sometimes that's 5 to 7 exposures to the information. Sometimes it's 10 or 20. So don't be discouraged if someone doesn't jump in right away and set me up, whatever it is you're doing. You will have those people sometimes, but more often than not, people are going to say, well, let me check this out, and I've got some questions, and I want to see more before and after photos. So plugging them into the Facebook group is a really easy way to get them that information and leverage your time, because most of us are busy. You don't necessarily have time to be sending messages back and forth all day. This is a really easy way to let the Facebook group do the work for you.
Absolutely. And what Lindsay is famous for saying is that it's all about finding people where they're at. So people are at different spots in their journey, and it's all about them. It's not about us. We have the gift, and we want to share it with them. And so it's allowing them to see what other people are doing and what our group is up to. And when they are ready, they will come into us. But it would be unfair for us to keep them out of that, keep that away from them.
Absolutely. So one of the things, I know David shared an example of how he invites people. I will say something like, hey, we've got this amazing community on Facebook. We share so much free information there, workouts, recipes, meal plans. You have access to personal trainers, fitness competitors, naturopathic doctors, all there to support you in your journey, whatever that looks like. Now, I always let people know, hey, a lot of us are using a program called Isagenix, so you're going to see us talk a lot about that, but it's really open to anyone, and I would love to have your great energy in that group. Would you like to be added? Most people say yes. And again, if they don't want to be, then that's totally fine. Maybe they're not a fit for what we're doing, at least not right now. So don't be afraid to offer that as a resource. We really want people to get just what a valuable resource that is for our team. So, to wrap it up, we'll just leave you with this. A lot of times people will look at, maybe David or myself and go, wow, I'm not like them. I'm not bold, and I don't feel comfortable talking to strangers. And I promise you this, you don't have to be any certain way. You absolutely can do anything that you want with this opportunity, including getting your products paid for in part or in full, all the way up to, what some of us are doing, which is actually building an income, a side income with this opportunity. But be authentically you, because I didn't start off really great at talking to people. I was really insecure. I was a hot mess and, questioned myself a lot, but I was just willing to be bad enough, long enough until I got a little bit better. And I think I'm still on that journey. There's no point where we've arrived. There's so many resources available to you. I already mentioned the one, isagenixbusiness.com. And I really encourage, if you're interested in learning more and growing yourself and becoming better at sharing this gift with people, that's a great place to plug in. And there's so many resources available to us that Isagenix makes available.
Yep, absolutely. I completely agree. And then to let people know too, within this video, there's probably we're gonna try to link up some other resources, some other videos if you do want to learn more. And there's some more in-depth, some longer ones that we love. But a lot of times it's a lot to take in. So if you want some more information, we're going to link it down below. Also, like Lindsay mentioned, our Facebook group. You go in there under files. If you're not already plugged in, talk to your upline, reach out to us. We'd love to plug you in. But if you go into the files tab, you'll see a bunch of resources there and a bunch of more information. But like I said, if you need more, if any of that isn't enough and you need some more questions, reach out to us, reach out to your upline. That's the part of this stronger together, right? We're together in this. So we're only as strong as the group. And so we want to help you out as much as we can. So just reach out.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll leave you with that, and we can't wait to talk to you more.
All the best.